going in the section. With the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Lightweight, baby. Or junior lightweight, whatever you want to call yourself. Drew Titan Bronson on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. We got a lot to get to. I see the family in the building. Big homie Coop, Rod Dale, Roger, Rashad Livingston, Antonio MMA, Jerome Truitt, Joseph Wiggins, Jamal Davis, 88 Sports Talk, B-Dog. We're going to get to all of it, Jerome. We're going to get to all of it. Mentu, what up? Melvin Harris. You know what? Let's just get to it. If I don't call your name, just know that I love you, man. Sensei's in the building. Salute.
What's good?
We got some shit to get to. There he is. Marco, what's good?
What's poppin'?
Hell's Kitchen in the building.
Front line.
That's right. That's right.
What's good, Marco? Happy New Year.
You too, man. How you doing?
Good, good.
I'm not hold on. Yeah, man, just doing well. I didn't catch the fight last night. I'm curious what you guys think. This is what I heard, right? I heard that Tank was losing until he stopped him, and I heard Boots had his hands full.
Whoa.
That's what I heard. I didn't see it.
You see, this is why our shows are so important. You're gonna have people are gonna tell you that Tank was losing until the inevitable happened.
Right.
There's some people disappointed in Boots. I personally don't understand. We're gonna go through it fight by fight.
Okay.
Steve L. the Max, salute, brother, and salute to my brother Playboy Plays in the building early with the Cash App. Strong House on deck. Excuse me, we are in the house. No diggity doubt. I'm in my brother Playboy Plays. I'm putting something together next week, next Saturday. So be on the lookout. I'm gonna let y'all know. But let's waste no time. I know what I feel, but
Yeah,
you know,
how'd you see it?
I saw everything. So I'm gonna go. We're gonna start with the first fight. Look at my camera acting a fool already. Let's go with the first fight. Boo Boo Andre. Well, it wasn't the fights that were aired. And salute to Lamont Peterson. It didn't work out for him. Just right off into the sunset, bro. It's all good. It's all good. And his brother, due to the business of boxing, was taken off of the card. And that's some bullshit. But it's the business of boxing. Nobody ducked anybody. He was removed. He explained it to 78. But we're going to go with the first fight. Andre versus Nicholson. And this is my opinion. I'm gonna go around. Andre was Andre. He was taking long strides. He was very comfortable. Nicholson only had one gear. He didn't have a plan B, let alone the C, D, E, and the F. Andre was very comfortable. It looked like a glorified sparring session, but Nicholson or Nicholas, whatever the hell his name is, he looked like he had suffered a shoulder injury, but I don't know if he was capping or not. And what ended up happening was his corner kept telling him, "You gotta turn the fight around. You gotta turn the fight around." And then he started talking. You gotta do more than talking to your opponent. You gotta do more than talking to win a fight. He was doing more talking, trash talking, pushing, but Andre was beating him like a drum. Easy 10-round unanimous decision. I don't recall him winning one round. But the fight was easy for Andre. And at this point, I'm going to say something, and it's meant to trigger. 168, he beats the shit out of Canelo. Okay? he beats the shit out of Canelo. He's been wanting to smoke for goddamn 8 or 9 years, and Canelo don't want to fight him. If you disagree with what I'm saying, don't get mad at me. Tell Canelo to fight him. Like we've been telling Canelo, we've been asking Canelo to fight this guy for 8 fucking years now. It's legitimately been that long. There's 2 Charlos, Andre, a rematch with Lara was there. We're not even thinking about that. All right. He already beat Caleb Plant. Great job. There's a Benavidez out there. Plant and Benavidez is fighting each other. Didn't Canelo say, "Oh, why don't they fight each other?" And then I'll kill. No, you're no longer in a position of power. I don't give a fuck if you're undisputed because you're not doing what you want to. You're not doing what needs to be done. You're not fighting your contemporaries. I'll give you Caleb Plant, but there's other people there. Get busy. And now they're legitimately all fighting each other. Andre called for all the smoke at 160, 168, you included. So that's my thoughts on Andre. I'm gonna go to Stormy. Your thoughts on that first fight?
Well, you know, there was a lot of talking at that press conference. I guess, you know, guys were excited because they were trying to, you know, get themselves put out front and placed as, you know, the match to see or be seen in and whatnot. Nicholson has fought a few people, been stopped a couple of times, but I really, hindsight, looking back on it, I'm really disappointed in his performance because I consider it somewhat of a lackluster and almost like a non-effort, because when the fight started, the opening bell, the one thing that I've noticed about Demetrius Andrade is this. After the fight that Canelo had where he showed up at the press conference and he was like, "Hey man, when are we gonna fight?" and everything, and Canelo famously soundbited, you know, "Get the hell out of here, you know, you fight nobody," this and that, and basically embarrassed him at that point. The next fight that he had, and forgive me the guy's name, I don't remember the guy, but he beat the crap out of that dude.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like, he didn't say this because Andrade is a weird dude. You know, I know guys like him, and they never come to you straight. They never come straight. It's like they'll go around here, around there, there to get to the point that they want to make to you. And the point might be strong as hell. Mm-hmm. But you have to ask him, "Dude, why didn't you just come to me and say," you know, that's his personality and his character. So last night, when the bell rang, he jumped on Nicholson's ass like he was Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Immediately, and I talked about this in my post-fight show.
Yep.
Nicholson's confidence, Nicholson's heart, everything jumped over the top ring apron and left the ring. Mm-hmm. After that, I literally saw a ghost come up out of his body and go over the top of the ring apron and run up the aisle. He wanted nothing after that. Because I'll tell you something, if you're talking to Andre, he may be talking to you directly, but speaking on something on beyond the moon and the stars and this and that, and you're like, "What is he doing?" But he can throw hands.
Yeah.
He has never been called a bad fighter. He's never been not acknowledged for the talent that he has. You just have to kind of wonder what's going on up here with him a little bit. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic when I say these things, but he jumped on that guy. Now, some people complain that, like, "Oh, he didn't finish him and everything." It's hard to finish certain individuals that don't want to fight. They don't want to commit. They don't want to give you an opportunity to do certain things. When he got dropped those couple of times, it was actually 3 times, but they missed that second one. But when he got dropped from force of the blows that Andre was throwing at him, and there was an intensity that was on there. And then there was a few moments in the fight, several instances where Andre would unleash like a 6 or 7 punch combination on his ass. He wasn't expecting any of that. I think that he was listening to the stuff that people have said about Andre and all of that. And when he got in there with him, he was like, what the hell is it? He wasn't prepared.
He wasn't as advertised.
To the degree that his corner was over there slapping his face and everything and telling him, dude, you got to fight. You got to. But he took his heart. He was a bigger
guy. Nicholson was a bigger guy.
Yeah, he took his heart. I've seen it happen so many times. And it really happened in that instance. Now, I'm not trying to say that Nicholson is a bad fighter or whatever, but he was shot as far as being able to perform last night after Andre jumped on him in that opening bell. And I'm going to tell you something. Mike Tyson used to do that to a lot of people, and he had a lot of success about that until people began to stand their ground and fight back. But early on, it was like a whirlwind of activity. People were not accustomed to that. Usually guys come out and they move around and tap the jab and trying to get loose, right? Mm-hmm. When the bell rang for Mike, he came out like a pit bull unleashed off, and get him, that kind of thing. And guys weren't ready for that. Mm-hmm. Remember me talking about Evander Holyfield training to fight Tyson, and they had several sparring partners from, including David Tua.
Yeah. And
they spent the first couple of weeks of sending the sparring partners after Evander. The rounds were 30-second rounds. The bell would ring, they jump on Evander right away, and Evander had to fight them off. And he had a hard time because when they changed the round, the next 30 seconds, it's a fresh guy in there.
That's right.
So he had to get adjusted to that before they went on with their regular sparring for that camp. And it took them 2 weeks to get that down, to be ready for the guys. 2 weeks. Now, we spar every day once the sparring starts, right?
Right.
But it took him 2 weeks to adjust to these sparring partners attacking him from the opening bell like that. He just couldn't get it down at first because Evander was the kind of guy that would come out and box, and loosen up and everything too. So you have to change your frame of mind when you're dealing with someone like that. And I don't think that Nicholson was ready for that blitz of, Demetrius when the bell rang like that. And he did that to his last opponent as well. Sometimes guys, when you train properly, you're ready for anything and whatever. But guys get into this kind of rut or this flow, it becomes mundane, right? That's when you can take advantage. And I talk about it all the time about adjusting to the adjustments, because somebody can make an adjustment, but it's the person who adjusts to the adjustments that usually prevails and comes out ahead.
Right.
It's more than one adjustment that needs to be made during a fight. And a lot of people don't understand that. But I was like really observing of Nicholson not performing. He just could not. And if he could have turned around and walked away, he would have.
Yeah.
That's like quitting, right? But there's another way to quit that you won't be accused of quitting, but you will stay there, take a beating, half-ass perform, but it's a non-effort, and that's what he gave. Similar to the guy that Tim Tszyu fought. Was that Gaucher, or what was that kid's
Gushy.
name?
He called him Gushy. That's his new name, Gushy.
Well, when he knocked him down in that first round and everything, it was like, oh, I didn't mean to do that.
I didn't mean to do that.
and then the rest of the fight, it was a non-effort.
Yep.
And Tim Tszyu got back in the fight, especially after 2-3 rounds when he saw that the guy wasn't fighting no more. And I'm telling you, the more that you watch boxing, you see history repeat itself over and over and over again. Nothing changes but the date and the individuals participating.
Yeah.
But you can see these things. And as we talk about the other fights, I could bring more history in because I did that last night. I'm talking about what's familiar. If you watched boxing You can see these things happening. It's unbelievable. That's why people should just watch more than who they like.
That's right.
Because it will open your mind up to the auspices of what can transpire in that ring. And if you think guys don't think like someone who did something weird at a different era or whatever, they all have the same damn feelings, bro. It's just who's able to handle them and control their emotions and everything. It's like when Custody Amato talked about the hero and the coward. What's the difference between the two? It's the reaction and action that one gives under the duress of circumstances that are threatening or imposing or intimidating or whatever. It's how you handle that and how you do not that define the difference between what's considered a heroic effort and what's considered cowardice. Simple as that.
Fight or flight. Marco, anything to add on that?
I mean, I didn't see that fight, and I don't really know much about Boo Boo. I have heard he's a little bit of a strange dude. I have heard that. Do you guys think that he has what it takes to compete at the Benavidez levels, at the levels of these top 68 pounders?
I think that he fights to the level of his opponents.
Okay.
And I think he'll turn up based off his competition, because one of the major things about him is that he hasn't gotten to the big names, and he claims he's tried. Now, a lot of where he is career-wise, a lot of that is self-inflicted, because the truth is he should have been in the PBC a while ago. But he was on the zone with Canelo, and the fight never materialized.
And Triple G.
Triple G.
Is he
That fight never materialized.
Is he a power puncher? Is he a boxer? What is
He's a boxer. He's a boxer. And now, and then what we saw last night, if we wasn't sure about the last fight, he has power that can keep you honest. You know, like how they say, oh, Floyd can't, he has pillow fists, but nobody really walked Floyd down.
Well,
allow me to correct you in that about his power. His power is more than power that can keep you honest. That was proven just like how he jumped on Nicholson last night and how he jumped on that guy. Forgive me, I can't remember his previous opponent's name, but I could see the fight in my mind, because I remember when I did a post-fight on that, I talked about how he did something unexpected in that fight. Usually he would come out and box, but he jumped on the dude right away. He did the same thing to Nicholson last night, but he has the type of power and speed that it's like, if you're not prepared for that, you don't know. Like, is he going to fight the whole fight like this? Is he just doing it at the moment or whatever? And lastly, let's not forget, he's a southpaw. So all of that stuff is coming from a less familiar angle and everything. So there's some positive things there, but I'm going to tell you when we finish this about why he may not beat those other guys. Go ahead.
I just want to throw in real quick. This is kind of off the topic, but on the topic. Isn't there a much bigger influx of southpaws over the last 5-10 years than?
Yes.
I remember that being so rare, and now they're all over the place.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
And
well, the reason why, Marco, I'm sorry, Drew, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying they write. They're righties when they write. They're fighting southpaws.
You're saying that more of them aren't natural southpaws; they just fight that way.
Right, from what I'm hearing. I don't know how true that is. Like Marvin Hagler was right-handed but fought southpaw.
Right.
It was weird.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One of those situations. But go ahead, Stormy.
No, the older trainers used to turn guys around and make them fight orthodox, because there was a time in boxing history that southpaw fighters were considered like the plague. Yeah. You don't touch that guy, he fight funny. No. And they were frozen out of, the opportunities at paydays, championship matches, definitely, and everything. So trainers would turn them around orthodox, regardless of whether they were left-handed or not. Over this past, how many years you say, what your observance and what is happening is, remember, we have a tremendous fall off in trainers now. So you're seeing guys who are adopting a different philosophy. But I'm going to tell you something about turning a fighter that's a natural southpaw into an orthodox. When you can get someone to do something that's difficult and allow it to become natural for them, they've already completed a process that's part of the entire thing that they will face as a fighter in the ring. So you know, being able to operate just being able to operate just being
Salute to Nonito Donaire in the building.
Oh, what's up, Nonito?
What's good? What's good, Nonito? You know what's convenient for you. Well, in a fight, there's no such thing as convenience. So old trainers understood these things and adopted it, and would get guys. You know, trainers would make a guy spar an entire round and bind his right hand and tell him, don't throw no right hands. Just work the left, work the left. And well, how am I block on the other? You got to learn. You got to be able. Like this. I heard you say this early in the show. He said that there might have been a point where Nicholson hurt his arm or had a shoulder injury or whatever. Yeah. When you hurt your hand, what are you going to do? If you've been trained in the ring to fight one-handed, aren't you capable? If you break your hand or if you've hurt your wrist really bad and you're going to need a few rounds for the sting for it to go out or whatever, you're still in a fight.
You got to fight.
Well, you got to fight. But the proper preparation in the gym gets guys ready for this stuff. I've known trainers to do things like cover a guy up, cover one of his eyes up, put an eye patch on, and pretend like your eye is closed. No, seriously, close your eye. You know, it's like you might have a cut. You might have impeded vision. You don't know. These are the kind of things that the old trainers, they used to do all of this stuff. These guys that's out here today with a toothpick in their mouth and the towel thrown on their shoulder and them damn funky hand pads, them punching mitts. Get them the hell out of here. They don't even know what they're doing, man.
They don't. These trainers
and the thing about it is, when the camera goes to the corner and you can hear what they're saying, that's when you really are defined as a coach and trainer, and you can tell, hey, you got to pick it up. Oh, you got to go get him now. Oh, man, man, let your hands go. Where are the instructions? I did a show on talking about there are 3 things when a fighter comes back to the corner that you can give him. 3, but they should be small, simple enough instructions that you expect him to be able to do 1. And he does all 3, God bless him. But give him 3, and whichever he feels most comfortable for, he will do it. And you build on that when he comes back next time. It's mental. Listen, all that physical stuff, big muscles, lifting weights, all of that, that's fine and dandy until you gas out. Now, you done gassed out, but it's 6 or 7 rounds to go. What you gonna do? Go lay down?
Anthony
put it on and say fake an injury or whatever? No, you gotta learn how to survive in there. And there's a thing called second wind.
Yeah.
It comes. And if you're in great condition, you can get a third win. Yeah. But a lot of people don't understand this, man. And these trainers, they poo-poo trainers, bro. They are. And it's out here, and you get poo-poo fights.
Yeah.
I know we ain't getting there yet, but the tank fight is an example of a poo-poo fight. It is.
We'll get
there. Yeah.
Salute to Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachel, man. Salute to you. He said, I want to see a money dance. So for those of you who don't know, if you subscribe to Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachel, when they get that super chat, they make it rain. So they want to see a dance.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to have Nonito on my show. I was just talking to him, as a matter of fact. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Here's my money dance. Nonito Nonito, let Dave know I want to arm wrestle him. I want to see if I can win. Probably not, but I want to see if I can. I want to see if I can win. Who wants to see me arm wrestle Batista? And who you think will win?
Who's Batista?
Batista, the wrestler.
Oh.
Yeah. Let him know I want to arm wrestle. I want to see who wins.
You arm wrestle at all?
I think I could get him now. He's just a little older than me. A little. Just
You arm wrestle?
Yeah, he done win Hollywood now, Drew. So you'll handle him. That'll be lightweight for you.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But that'd be dope. I want to arm wrestle him.
All you gotta do is while you got him in that position, you look up and say, "Oh, is that Kim Kardashian?" You're gonna look around and
I'm gonna be like, Thanos! He gonna turn.
I'm gonna do like over the top and just hang over the thumb and turn
Like
him
that,
over.
put the thumb in it, yeah. I think I can get him now. I think. I don't know. I think. So let's go. All right. Oh yeah. AKA Drax. Hell yeah. All right. So let's go to the second fight. Look, man. And first of all, the Andre fight and the Speedy Rashidi fight. The refereeing was horrible. And I'm going to show you this. Watch this. Nonito, let me know if I'm bugging because you're the professional. Marco, I consider you, Stormy, Nonito. Look, I'm not a pro, but is there something wrong with this? Look at this. All right, watch this, y'all. Look at the count.
Too little, too late for Villa. An incredible end to the fight. Ellis went down.
What?
Damn.
I was at 9. I was at 9 when he
That was a
continued.
nice 3-4 second gift.
Yep.
Now, that's why I said, bullshit aside,
Weird.
that was a fucked up count.
That was weird. What do you think the motives are behind that?
Bro, I don't know. That was a PBC card. I think the ref was incompetent. The first ref in the Andre fight was slapping him on their ass. I said, what the fuck is wrong with him?
Yeah, he was. I didn't know what that was all about.
Yo.
You know, I thought Anthony Joshua was in the building or something with all that backside rubbing. I'm like, what?
I was like, what the fuck is he doing? He's copping feels on the brother.
Because
Discount. Now, when you fall, you're supposed to go to the furthest corner, right?
right.
Villa went to the furthest corner and was told to come back, and then he started the count at 5. I was on like 9 or 10.
And don't they follow the what's it called? The official count?
The official count outside the ring is
Right,
supposed
they
to be.
pick that up.
But listen, hold on, guys. Before we say anything further, Drew just made a very significant point here. And these are the kind of things, talking points, that we could get on these sanctioning bodies and these promotional events, because that type of incompetency loses and wins fights for guys when they have interfered to a degree that it is nothing. It can be considered, it can only be considered one or two things. Either it's corruption and you're cheating, or you're incompetent. And either one are not welcome in the sport.
That's right.
So we have to talk about these things. We have to put it out there. And it is time to turn the heat up on their asses for this, because that referee should be thrown back down into the amateur leagues or whatever. He should never operate on a televised card again. And he should be reviewed, because that right there, it was quite similar to Mr. Mora, wasn't it?
Yes.
Quite
Yes.
similar. And he doesn't have half the experience that Mr. Mora has. So Mora did it it was conscious.
Yeah.
This guy, who is he working for?
The only thing I'll say is the guy. I don't think it made much of a difference, at least because the guy was up. He was clear. I don't think it made much of a difference, but it's still horrible.
Let me say this. The reason why I wanted to point it out first before we get to the actual point, and I see the brother Tony in the chat. There's a reason why, Tony, there's a reason why I pointed that out first. Because if you go to my video that I uploaded last night, there's someone in the chat who said, of course I thought Rashidi won because he's black. See, so so now you see. And I gave him the business. I ain't block him because I want him to come back. I want to know if he wants to smoke. But anyway, I pointed that out for a reason. An asshole is an asshole is an asshole is an asshole. I don't give a fuck. Now watch this. Had the ref been competent and Rashidi dropped, Villa already walked to the furthest corner. If he got the count right, maybe Villa would have got a stoppage. If he got the count right. You good? Wipe off the gloves, fight. Villa pounces on him, and he might have stopped him in that round. Maybe. But because of his incompetence, Rashidi had more time, because right after that, the round ended. Now, how about that? I'm speaking up for Villa, am I not?
And not only that, Rashidi went down the second time because he was on shaky legs from the first knockdown, and he was hurt, and he was fatigued, and his confidence was flying away to join up Nicholson for dinner. I'm telling you that this whole thing reeks of the kind of stuff that we really need to have as strong talking points and to do more videos and everything on this, because listen, man, the common person doesn't really know, okay? But we're watching this foolishness.
That's right. Now, Tony put this up, and I put a star next to it because I think it's very important. He said, let me restate it. Villa only landed 114 punches. 90% of those came from the ninth on. Rashidi wasn't getting touched prior to that, the last two rounds. You can literally look up the punch stats. Now, with that being said, he fucked up the count and everything. I agree with Tony. I agree.
You guys think Rashidi won? Should have won?
If you watch the full fight, there's no fucking way. A 10-7 round and a 10-9 round, because it was only a 10-round fight. A 10-7 round and a 10-9 round, he still doesn't win that fight. He still doesn't win that fight. He was comfortable outboxing him. He ran out of gas, all right? And he got clipped because Villa got bombs. And they were saying that the whole fucking night. He got bombs, and then he got clipped. Really good shot, too. Caught him going backwards. And they forget everything that happened from rounds 1 to 8. And they only remember round 9 and 10, where he ran into some... Round 9, he just gave up. Round 10, he got into trouble. But he made it to the bell. They fucked him off because what it was a majority decision for Villa. Now, let me for those of the naysayers, right? Big homie Coop said, Wilder knocks Fury down twice, Fury gets a draw. Villa knocks Ellis down twice after losing 9 to 10 rounds. Ellis loses unanimously. Boxing is inconsistent more than a little bit. That part. There's no fucking way you're going to get in my chats and argue with me when we clearly remember that fucking draw. But the bad part is, when Deontay fought Fury in the first fight, you can't tell me the only rounds he won was the ones he knocked Fury down in. Bullshit. That wasn't last night, because I didn't give Villa any rounds until rounds 9 and 10. And he still don't win the fight. So, am I off on that, Stormy?
I don't think that you're off on it, but you have a right to, feel like you feel from what you felt like you were witnessing. But I'm gonna share something with everybody here that I was listening to our brother KQKC call the fight, and hats off to KQ once again for a great call. I wrote in his chat after the second round, I said, Rashidi gonna have problems. I saw it happening, and I saw this before. Remember, I said, with the fights that have transpired on this card, there's a little bit of history that went throughout these 4 matches. In this fight, it reminded me a great deal of Meldrick Taylor and Julio Cesar Chavez.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Meldrick was beating Chavez all night long.
In his ass.
He was winning. He was winning the fight.
5 punches to 1.
But in the last couple of rounds, Mel started standing in there and giving Chavez opportunities. And the thing is, what happens is this. There are fighters that are very cunning. They're crafty. This young man, I saw it after watching the first round. I said, the way that Rashidi is boxing, he's not going to be able to beat this guy over 12 rounds. He's not, because his punches don't have enough pop on him.
True.
He's moving entirely too much, and the guy isn't even doing anything yet.
He didn't break a sweat.
I said in KQKC's chat after like 6 rounds, no, forgive me, that's an exaggeration. I was saying like maybe after 3 or 4 rounds, I said the dude is not even sweating. I said it in his chat. If you go back and watch his stream, it's in the chat. I said, this kid ain't even sweating yet. And the thing was, he wasn't really letting his hands go. He was following him around. He'd throw a shot every once in a while, but Rashidi was working too hard on doing absolutely nothing. Yes, he's winning the rounds, but the other guy really ain't doing anything yet. It all changed in round 8. In round 8, toward the middle portion of the round, all the way up into the bell, the fight changed. All of a sudden, Romain Villa found offense. And Rashidi's legs were starting to go. What a conundrum is happening at the same time. And Rashidi is not an inside fighter.
No.
So he had no answers. But now to move, bitch, get out the way. Huh? But the thing is, what was happening now is Villa can sense that what's going on, and he started coming on. Rashidi didn't make an adjustment. Remember I said, adjust to the adjustment. Because the adjustment now is Villa's coming on. He's starting to throw shots. I was yelling at the TV for Villa. I was like, stop looping that right hand and throw it straight from the shoulder. If you throw it straight from the shoulder, you may knock his ass out. Because he was looping it, he's quick enough to kind of step back or lean back and get out of the way of it. But if you throw it straight from the shoulder, he can't see it. Because he's like right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is how, again, when George Foreman knocked out Michael Moore, he blinded him with the jab and shot that right hand straight behind it. Straight. Not looping it. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Now, he started banging rounds 9 and 10. He's banging Ellis to the body. And nobody talked about Ellis having that high-ass band on his waist, with his name on it is real large, that the band came up under his top abdominal muscles. It wasn't around his waist. It was over his top abdominal, right under his top abdominal muscles. So the cup was too high. The trunks were too high. And they even warned Villa a couple times for low blows when they weren't really low. I'm watching the entire drama of this fight unfold. Rashidi was winning on points, but he lost the drama of the fight.
That's the point. That's my point.
The drama of the fight, and sometimes the judges will give you favor. I understand how that works. That's
His corner said that.
I'm not disappointed. Yes, you're right. In round 11, when it ended, they told Romain Villa, you need a knockout to win this fight. And what did he go out there and do? He tried to knock his ass out.
And what did Rashidi's corner tell him? You heard it?
Yeah, they was telling him to be careful.
Close the show. Try and close the show. Yeah. Don't let him do it. Because he knew.
It was a situation where it all played out. The only difference was he didn't stop Ellis in the 12th like Chavez stopped Mel. But it was the same. I'm watching this and I'm seeing it play out the same way. Because I'm like, he can't continue to fight like that. I was saying that, Mel, you don't need to continue to fight like you're fighting because you're giving Chavez opportunity. And he did that. And dude, it's like the writing is on the wall. This is why I say people need to watch more than just who and what they like. Because you can get a genuine education. The scenarios that take place in that ring, outside of somebody coming from outside the ring and doing some foolishness like fan man and stuff like that, the scenarios are limited of what can happen. You know why? Because we're people, we're human beings, and we all can have and feel the same things at different times. And Rashidi was depleting, and the other guy hadn't really got going yet. There are plenty of fights that you can watch and you can see this shit play out. It happens all the time. It's just that most people don't watch boxing like that.
Nope.
And you can get mad, oh, they robbed him or whatever. He robbed himself because he couldn't make the proper adjustments to handle this guy properly. That's where it went wrong. He robbed himself. And did you see him sitting up there with tears in his eyes?
I hope he froze. See, that's what happens when you kick it too much facts. YouTube takes you off. All right. But I hope y'all understand what Stormy's saying. When I say all right, we got your back. We got your back. Yeah. Froze for a minute. The drama of the fight. That's Tarver Jones won. Oh. I had Roy winning, but we never seen Roy look that normal.
Tired, I would say tired and drained, but we don't have to go there.
No, you're right. He was drained. He came from heavyweight back down to 175 in like how many months? 3 months?
Whatever it was. Yeah, that was.
He wasn't fat at heavyweight. He lost muscle mass.
Yeah. So you're supposed to get tired on steroids, though, right?
That part.
Say what?
You're supposed to get tired on steroids, right?
You saying, because Roy got busted doing steroids at one time?
Yeah. Listen. All right.
One time, I can say he was doing it all the time. You do it once, you do it all the time. As far as I'm concerned.
His defense, and I'm biased, but whatever. His defense is that I'm gonna admit I am biased, but I believe it. He said he's like, I didn't know that I could get tested positive that something would be banned that I'm grabbing off the shelf at GNC. Like he's like, I didn't know, and it happened, and I never did it again.
If you believe that from Roy, I
believe anything Roy tells me.
I got some ice water to sell you, but you got to go to hell to get it.
I believe anything Roy tells me. Anything he tells me, I believe. So
listen, Evander Holyfield is my favorite fighter. And I'm sure that Evander did something at some point in his career. Was it his whole career? I don't know. But the fact that he did get, caught, it's like it puts it up there like, hey, but I ain't gonna go to bat for a dude that did wrong. I ain't gonna do it. I can only go to bat for myself. You understand? I talk about it all the time. Lead by example. Right. These guys out here, if you want to be all that and say these things, then you got to live like that. Roy got caught with something, yeah, but he also knows. He knows the differences. That's a choice, bro. That's a choice. And he effed up. And when you F up, you got to say one thing, and then it's okay.
Right.
I effed up. But who the hell ever says it's on me? I fucked up. Nobody.
Nobody ever said it. And James Toney's one of my favorite all time. But
me too. Yeah. But the way I look at steroids personally is like if you get caught once, and the story seems believable, it's not that big of a deal to me. But if it's repeated offenses, at that point, there's nothing, in my opinion, that there's no stories. It's bullshit at that point.
Hell yeah! You see, Nonito.
People make
what he said.
What do you say?
24/7 testing. He don't ever want his legacy questions. Never. Yeah. And that's why we fucks with him. Yeah. But to close out with what happened to Rashidi, he won on my cards. He won, but I completely understand him losing the drama of the fight. I get that. I just think that was wrong how the judges did them. That was fucked up, and the ref didn't help. And what I'm saying is, the ref, if you look at that round, the ref, you could make the case that he was trying to help Rashidi. You can make that case because Villa walked away. He walked to the furthest corner, and then the ref stopped the whole count and told him to get back to the close. He didn't send him to the other corner. He sent him to the closer corner. I was in my living room like, yo, what are you doing? But he saved him. Because then right after that, the round ended.
I feel
the fight
like
was over.
I feel like we should form, I've been thinking about this for a long time, some kind of an organization where, because strength is in numbers, right? You got 3 people voting. You get a much more accurate sample size if you have 1,000 people voting,
Yes.
right? There should be some kind of an online thing where people who maybe passed a small test to show that they have boxing knowledge can all vote, and that should count as part of the official decision.
You know what the problem is? And I agree with what you just said, but there are too many fans of fighters rather than fans of the sport.
I agree. You're right.
And,
So
and that's dangerous.
right.
That is dangerous because those motherfuckers will make 14. If a motherfucker can make 14 troll accounts to come bother me, they can make 34 troll accounts to go
Right.
take that test.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? People
Right.
are weird like that. If it's in the name of the fighter that grew up in the same town as them, or looks like them, or acts like them, or they have a crush on. You understand?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Some of these fighters have some of the weirdest fan base. Have you ever seen, yo, man, these UK fans are bizarre. They are bizarre. I've never seen anything like that. You ever talk to a Flomo? Floyd Mayweather, an unconditional Floyd Mayweather fan? It is the worst conversation you can ever have because Floyd walks on water. You're like, hold on now, wait, okay,
Yeah.
he's great in the ring, but there are some things within boxing they don't want to hear it.
It's just
They
so
don't want to hear it.
it's so fucked up that all the hard work and everything that fighters have gone through to get to a certain point can just be taken away by some judge who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
There has to be something that could be done to better it.
I don't know what the criteria with judging is, and I'm not sure I trust the criteria of getting educated on what it is to be a referee after the shit with Padilla.
Well, yeah.
That's crazy. 22 years later, he's like, see, I got robbed. And
Yeah.
Padilla admits it, and the whole world sees it. And I still got like unconditional Pacquiao fans, aka Pactards, that are still in my chats right now arguing with me. I said, the man just said he cheated for him. He just said it. What? It's not alleged. He just said it. They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd fuck him up now. Probably. He's been active for 22 fucking years. Nadal's been in Australia and said, fuck boxing. But now it comes out that he was right and they don't want to hear it. This is what we're dealing with here. So there was a lot of things wrong with the Speedy Rashidi fight. He lost the drama, but on my cards, he won. I don't agree with the judges. That ref was fucked off. And something got to be done. We say that every fucking time. But there's nothing else to do but have a rematch. Some people are happy Villa won. Fine. I'm not happy for 2 reasons. They got the call wrong, number 1. And number 2, we were so looking forward to Rashidi versus the guy we're going to talk about now. Boots. We thought we had that next, didn't we? They got on the press conference and started jaw-jacking at each other. We was like, oh, shit, yes! And now look. Now Rashidi, and guess what? I don't want to hear it. Rashidi got to run that. He got to run that back. If he's not ready to run that back, he better say something. But in that fight, now mind you, it was only a 10-round fight, y'all. In that fight, that's why I say bring back 15-round fights. In that fight, he was working hard to stay away. But see, the thing is, he was scoring. And what I was gonna say, Stormy, is if I was in Rashidi's corner, another mistake he made was that he kept trying to counter when he got cornered. He was punching with this guy that was visibly stronger than him later in the fight. later in the fight. And if you didn't have enough pop to keep this guy off of you early in the fight, because he was using a lot of leg movement, why would you try and pop with him later in the fight when he's the fresher guy and naturally the stronger guy and the bigger guy? I'd have told him, yo, just use your legs, throw those last 2 rounds, but he'd have been better literally throwing those last 2 rounds and not getting into exchanges. I would have told him not to exchange with him. Just tie him up and get the fuck out of there.
Where
He
was
was
the
countering
body
him.
work by Ellis?
Huh?
Where
None.
was the body
Yeah.
work by
None.
Ellis? It was all head hunting.
All head
All
hunting.
head hunting.
Look when he gets dropped. He's trying to punch with him. Bad move. This was so bad. Right here. Boom, right there. That's not good. Right? Look. No. And look where it got him. I can't believe this. 3, 4. Sends him back.
He sends him to the corner that's closest to Rashidi.
I can't-
And the way he's pointing to him is right behind where Rashidi is standing.
Yo, listen.
How ridiculous is that?
I'm gonna go on record to say this. I think that ref cheated for Rashidi. Still didn't work. We're looking right at it. It still didn't work, but I still think Rashidi won the fight. But I think that ref saved them from getting stopped. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, man. Boom. No, dude. I'd have told him, yo, he was supposed to be tying him up. Stupid shit, man. Stupid shit. But I still think he won. I thought Rashidi won, but those judges is fucked off. But now he has to run it back. If he's not ready to run it back, he needs to say that. But don't have me sitting there like, yo, go get that win back. We live in an era where motherfuckers don't think they got to run shit back immediately.
Now you see why Rashidi ain't been that active.
Wow.
The dude, I'm gonna tell you something. He got 10 foil inside the cavity of his chest. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that. You might not want to hear that. You might not, listen.
Hey, man.
He's been happy being over there in Canelo's camp. Maybe Canelo has kicked him down with some nice little change to let him beat up on him and everything. And he was content with that when he should have been out here competing like a lot of these other guys have done and getting fortified, being a good fighter. But you know what? Chicago Bears had a quarterback that they traded away for Jay Cutler from Denver. And on the potential, he made a Pro Bowl by default because somebody got hurt or something, and he was like the next man up, and he made the Pro Bowl. But he came to Chicago with all this potential. I don't like that word at all, man. Potential, huh? But he never lived up to the potential. So even after 12 years with the Bears or 13, whatever it ended up being, he had a career of potential, but never did a damn thing. So when are you going to change your underwear? You're running around, everybody can smell your funky ass, huh? When you going to do laundry? I keep telling you, accountability means a lot. This guy standing up there with tears in his eyes because the decision didn't go. I wouldn't give him the damn decision either. Because he didn't earn it. What you did, how you started off, don't mean a damn thing when you can't finish.
You can't finish.
Ask any lady, huh? Gentlemen.
Now, wait a minute.
Whoa! What the that's kind of pretty before it gets started.
What? Now, this goes right into the co-main event. This is perfect. Now, Boots. He's in there with a Ukrainian dude. I'm not even going to butcher his last name, but we saw the fight. I'm reading a lot of people saying that Boots got exposed and how he's not really ready for Errol, but I beg to differ. My mind has not changed about Boots. If you watch that fight, As soon as the bell rang, that Ukrainian brother took off running. I don't hear anybody I'm hearing more of you motherfuckers saying that Boots got exposed than that motherfucker ran. He did everything but turn his back on him and run. Okay? He has some spots where he buckled down to fire some shots, but nothing had crazy intent. Boots had to walk this guy down. He tried to cut off the ring. The guy was athletic and fast. He was in shape. But when Boots did nail him, he nailed him. It wasn't enough to drop him. The guy was in there to survive. He didn't come to win, y'all. He did not come to win. And they fought for some interim belt. That motherfucker did not come to win. I can't even give him credit for getting to the 12th round. I can't. Because I'm like, all right, listen. James Quick Tillis stopped the KO streak of Mike Tyson. But there were more points when he was in front of the killer, the young Mike Tyson. What was he, like 2021? He stood in the pocket in spots. He got dropped, but he came back and he finished the fight. He stopped the KO streak of Mike Tyson. This dude, what the fuck was his name? Karen. His name was Karen. His first fucking name is Karen, for fuck's sake.
Kukun Khan. He was Namor.
Kukun Khan. They call him Kukun Khan. And the motherfucker could not, he Kukun Khan'd you motherfuckers because he couldn't finish the way we wanted to see him finish. And that was bullshit. That was bullshit. I'm not going to blame Boots for a spoiler. You know what a spoiler is? A guy that goes in there and just does everything wrong. He doesn't let you shine. Makes you, people were booing, but they were booing him. They weren't booing Boots. Trust me, they weren't booing Boots. They were not. This guy was trying to sneak in right hands, and he was pretty athletic. He wasn't slow, but he also displayed his speed. How he, in the cartoon where they, how Scooby-Doo, they take off and they feel like this before they take off? That was him every fucking round. And the guy had cardio up the wazoo. He would not stand there and try and win. So it's not so much Boots getting exposed. If anything, we learned more about Rashidi, whom I think won the fight. But we learned more about Rashidi than we could say more. Who got exposed more, Rashidi or Boots? I'm reading people saying, "Oh, he don't know how to cut off the ring." Look, he literally had to chase that motherfucker down. Literally. Boots couldn't get off on him. That happens. But we know what Boots can do. Now, the way that dude ran around the ring, Bud ain't gonna do that. And Errol ain't gonna do that. So those are gonna be two totally different fights. So my opinion on Boots has not changed. He just had a bad opponent. All right? Maybe Villa should have been fighting Boots. At least we'd have got a fight. You understand? Rashidi just ran out of gas. Again, let me be on record by saying, I thought Rashidi won the fight. But things are what they are. This is boxing, ladies and gentlemen. Stormy, your thoughts on Boots?
Well, I can honestly say that I was glad to see that Boots went 12 rounds because he needs that. He needs that under his feet. I talked about it in the post-fight show last night that you're not going to knock everybody out.
Right.
And there's no way that they can tell me that they were prepared for that guy to perform like he performed. Mm-hmm. He was moving a lot, but I don't think he was running. Now, some people feel like he was running. That's all right. I'm not here to argue that point, but I will point certain things out. When a guy has footwork, it's up to you to be able to understand how to offset the footwork. Didn't Ali move backwards, dancing, jabbing, sticking, moving, and moving around? People have to follow him around the ring and trying to cut the ring off and everything. When he was 22 through 26 years old, he was the fastest thing on 2 feet in the heavyweight division. Michael Nunn, many years later, who I consider the middleweight southpaw Ali as far as that type of athleticism and movement in the ring, was the same way. It took James Toney 11 rounds and Michael Nunn ignoring Angelo Dundee's request to come together at an impasse for him to get knocked the hell out by James Toney, who said he would never fight Michael Nunn again if they tried to force the fight because it was a hard task.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that to say this. Footwork is important. And shout out to my brother, the dearly departed Curtis Anderson, a.k.a. Kurt Sugar, who used to say a fighter without footwork is like a blind man without a cane. Okay? Now, would we have liked to see Cuckoo Khan throw some more punches and everything in the midst of moving around like he was and all? Absolutely. But his mama didn't raise no damn fool either. And he knew that if he stood with Boots, more than likely Boots would get to him. I thought I saw a couple of body shots from Boots that hurt him.
Yes.
That Boots didn't follow up on. Now, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Okay.
And where were the instructions from the corner?
From the corner.
Because he has to take a point of interest in the fight and understand that, ooh, I want to hit this sucker on his jaw. He moving too much. But how do you stop him from moving? You hit him in the body.
The air out this
You
time.
hit him in the body. Where was that? You're such a schooled fighter. From the time you were a small child, your dad been training you in the gym. Now comes the time to show what you learned. And you get a C+ for that because you didn't execute. But you went 12. You were good. You were solid. You still had your strength. You didn't let this guy steal rounds from you. You basically won every single round. But you didn't get what you was looking for because you didn't put in the work that was necessary for that to happen. How about that?
I'll take that. I'll take that because nailed on the head, man. I'll take the C+. I'll definitely take the C+. It got to a point where he was emotionally trying to get that guy out of there because I felt he was trying to perform in front of his audience. He got away from the basics because he felt too comfortable in there. That guy couldn't hurt him. And he felt too comfortable in there to the point where he got away from the basics. He should have been attacking the body. Once he figured out this dude was going to run all night, he should have been attacking the body from like round 4. Okay, and he didn't do it. But the head movement, the foot movement was there. But obviously Boots had the better outing that night because of how it turned out for Rashidi. Now, sky's still the limit for Boots. Rashidi has to go back to the drawing board, you see? But I want Rashidi to understand something. He cannot let this loss define him as a fighter. He has to fail forward. This is boxing. He has to come back and correct it. All right? When you have a box, this was a classic boxer versus puncher, and he was up on the fight. Maybe you do have to work on your cardio, but down in those championship rounds, because remember, this was a 10-round fight, y'all. If that round ends and they go to round 11, what do you think happens? This is what I'm saying. So he should be in the gym today. How do I fix this? On the treadmill, he needs to become obsessed. Watch those last 2 rounds and be like, motherfucker, nah, nope. You have to become obsessed. Call his name. What these kids do, they all over Twitter talking shit. Do that. Go get that back and win in outstanding fashion. I mean, win so good that when the rematch happens, it looks so one-sided. They were like, yo, we don't need to see that shit again. He fucked him up. And I'll tell you this much. Maybe he needs to get to work earlier. Because I was impressed with the defense. But dude kept walking forward like Hero in the Terror. Right, Stormy? Chuck Norris. Hero in the Terror. He kept coming. Remember the second Rocky? He says, look, Apollo, I don't want you fighting Stallion again. He said, why? He said, he kept coming. He would not stop. You're talking about Rocky. Rocky, skill set was nowhere near Apollo's. But he kept coming. He would not stop. Rashidi has to stop that dude. Get on him early. That was Rocky 3. When Apollo started training him, he said, look, you know what? We got to take him out early. This guy's strong. Outbox him, catch him with shit. Rashidi could have caught him with so much fast shit that he didn't see coming. He probably could have dropped him a couple of times early. But he was in there playing and dancing and shit. You remember that?
Yeah, I talked about that. That shaking his shoulders and licking his tongue out and all of that. But who was licking their tongue out when he was on the canvas in the 12th round and everything?
Now, let me reiterate. Let me say again. I thought Rashidi won the fight. I still think he got robbed. But no one gives a fuck about what we're saying right now because Villa won.
Well, I'm gonna put it to you like this. And you know, I'm the man of a million sayings, right? You could think that he got robbed, but I'm here to tell you it wasn't nothing left in the bank. Okay, so that's it. Take that.
Got him. Salute to Gerard from home in the building. He said he moved like Better Biev, just a lot more movement. Shit. He better not be no Better Biev at 147 because that's a whole nother. I don't think he's a Better Biev. But goddamn. Look at Nonito Richard. He said, damn. All right. Yeah. So now we go to the main event. Hector Garcia versus the delinquent.
Yeah, right.
The delinquent. I need to know, did anybody think that Hector would win? I'm going to start with you, Marco. Did you think he'd win?
I think Tank is a little, maybe a little of a big statement, but I think he's probably the best fighter in boxing, pound for pound. I think Tank has everything. The fact that some of his fights, he, doesn't do well or is losing objectively before he finds that knockout punch or that knockout combination, that's a skill. Like, Deontay is a good example. People could say, oh, well, Deontay is one punch, he's losing the... Landing that one punch is a skill in itself, and there's a method to that madness. You don't just land it luckily. Just like Tank does not just find those combinations or that one punch where he knocked out Santa Cruz, or that's all a skill. Deontay fights with a huge disadvantage being his size, height, right? That is a disadvantage, but he has an eraser. That shit that'll erase everything that happened up until that moment. Right. And I find Tank to be highly underrated in terms of his technical ability and his boxing IQ.
Yes.
I think he has the best resume, in my opinion, fought the best fighters out of all the current guys. Maybe not Bud or Terrence, but not Bud or Spence, but I think Tank is one of the greatest fighters, if not the greatest fighter we see right now. And I don't think anybody will beat him. To answer your question, no, I didn't think this guy was going to beat him. I wouldn't put any guy favorite to beat Tank, not even Shakur, not Haney, none of those guys. I'm not saying it'll be easy, but I think
right. Well, and you are completely entitled because you know why? We don't know because those fights haven't happened. But you're saying you pick him out the bunch, and a lot of people do. So I could dig it. Roger says Hector's chin is crazy. Didn't matter how good his chin was because he got his eye punched out. I am legally blind.
What happened? He had a detached retina, I heard?
He punched him in the eye. The round ended. And he said, what happened? Did I get knocked down? And they said, fight's over. He didn't get knocked down.
That might have been concussion.
He was concussed because he looked fucked up. Like, he would have shot his head. He would have shot his fucking head.
Put that thumbnail picture back up there that you had for the show tonight.
I am legally blind.
Upside your head. I said, oops, upside your head.
Yo, Tank went in there. He was like,
this should be in the trash.
It was that punch. It was that punch. The delinquent threw that punch. And the round, he almost fell. Tank starts unloading on him. The round ends. He starts walking Tank back to his corner. No motherfucker that way. So he does a 180, goes the other way, sits down, and in Spanish, come to find out, he's saying, "What happened? Did I get knocked down?"
Yeah, that's not good.
And they looked at him, and it was like, "No,
Yeah,
we're not letting him back out there."
that sounds like a concussion.
Yeah, he was pretty fucked up, and he
Well-
didn't come to lose because there was some great exchanges there.
Now he can fight. So,
Yeah.
so let me ask you guys: do you guys put Tank ahead of the other 3-4 powerhouses in or around those divisions?
I put Devin ahead of him. Maybe I'm biased because
Okay.
I talk to Bill a lot, but I think skill for skill, Devin's skill set is just better than his. But we all know Tank has the eraser.
I was about to say to you as well, though. Tank also has a better resume, so Devin may be, but if I had to pick right now, Tank has proven himself more than those other guys have as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the resume, I could see exactly why you say that, but that's a hard sell to people that don't know any better because Devin's undisputed.
Yeah, but
He got that on his end, and the fact that Devin had to literally run out and he chased everybody, and I also factor in the people that ducked him. Lomachenko dropped the belt and they created a whole status so he didn't have to fight him. He had to go to Australia 2 times to fight Cambozo. That motherfucker, that Gubba motherfucker.
right.
He had to chase him over there to fight him, and he did it. And I just wanted Cambosis to beat Teofimo Lopez. I wasn't sure if he was going to do it or not, but I did root for him, and he did it.
He did.
And I gave him props, and then he started acting crazy. So Devin had to sign crazy deals with Top Rank to get shit done. I mean, he's running into burning buildings looking for these guys.
Yeah.
And I think all roads lead to him and Tank fighting in Vegas. I just promise me I get the fight in 2024. I'll buy the ticket today.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, Shakur is also right in contention with those guys in terms of skill, and it's such a dope I could say 3 divisions because you got 30, 35, 40. All those guys can fight each other.
Yeah, I like those fights. Shakur is phenomenal, man. His ring IQ and all 3 of these guys, since they're still young, they're what we call old souls. You hear that term in music a lot. When you have a 16-year-old and when they open up the mic, it's like that voice coming out of that kid. You know, it's like, whoa, what's happening here? That's an old soul.
Yeah.
These kids have ring IQ beyond their time. And that's what I'm saying. 135 is such a special. Yeah, Frank Martin's in the mix too. All right. But there's so much talent at 135 right now. It's a very exciting time. And before God throws an asteroid at the planet and kills us all, we need to start making this fight. We have no time to waste.
Yeah.
We have no. I'm with a tournament. That right there. If you want to make a tournament and say whoever's winning the tournament is now a franchise champion, I could fuck with that. But the WBC, the way they're doing it, they're just giving it. You remember Crazy Eddie? We're giving it all away. It's insane. Remember that? That's Mauricio Silly Man, because he's just giving shit away.
Yeah.
And we don't know what the criteria is with the franchise status. And guess what? I don't give a fuck. Yeah. 135 is such an exciting Frank Martin. Look, I'm still gonna put Michelle Rivera there because he has to learn how to fail forward.
I think Loma's still in there too.
He's alive, dog. The only person I can't stand being there is fucking Ryan Garcia. He hasn't done shit.
Right. Yeah. Well, Tio. What about Tio? He's
140 now. He don't want no smoke with anybody. He's up there ducking Regis Prograde. It's Tio's turn tomorrow morning. I'm gonna slaughter his ass tomorrow. He should be at 135 right now in the mix with all these motherfuckers. He should be chasing George Kambosos right now. Right now. I'll run that back. But he went to 140. He's doing the same shit he was doing here at 135. Regis Prograde called his fucking name. All right? but no. Let me tell you something about my best friend.
Well, they look young.
Man, get the fuck, man. Look, Teofimo burned all bridges with me, man. You know, I was trying to root for the kid. He from out here. Allegedly, we don't claim him no more.
Nah.
We don't claim him no more.
You don't grow up in Florida. Just come out of the vagina here and then grow up in Florida. You're from Florida.
He's from he smells like oranges.
Yeah.
Orange zest. He's zesty. Fuck Teofimo, man. Fuck him with a lit flare. Right in the poop chute. Fuck him.
Ooh.
But 135 is fire right now. And I need one person to emerge. Right now, Devin Haney's the guy. So everyone needs to be dethroning him. And see, this is the part of boxing I can't stand. Devin's the guy, but Tank is the A side.
It's about marketability. It's about who sells more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know,
Yeah.
it's not always about the belts.
Yeah, man. So I think right now, Ryan Garcia, Tank, just go ahead and fight the guy.
Make money. Make your money.
Yeah. One of my brothers on the gram told me that based off what he's seen last night, he thinks Ryan beats Tank.
No,
I didn't see that.
Ryan is one of the only fighters I could think of at this level that he doesn't have a right hand, really. It's crazy. His left hand is so sharp, right? Powerful. But his right hand, it's a weird chopping. It doesn't get power behind it. It's strange. It's not developed.
He's getting by on athletic ability, but the truth of the matter is we haven't seen enough of Ryan Garcia to gauge what kind of talent he really is. Okay, he gets knocked on the floor by a British tooth. He got up off the floor and won that. But so what? We haven't seen him. We haven't seen much. We haven't seen him in the Lions Den. We haven't seen him like that. We've seen Tank deal with adversity. We've seen Devin deal with adversity. Yeah. You understand? We haven't seen Shakur deal with adversity, but Oscar Valdez was supposed to be the fight that we could see who he was, and Shakur made it easy.
Easy.
He made it easy. So now he comes up to 135 looking for smoking. What the fuck is Ryan doing?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Michelle Rivera and Frank Martin, they didn't have to fight when they fought. They could have used the business and say, look, we're too young. We're going to let this marinate. And there'd have been a handful of motherfuckers that bought that ideology. We didn't buy it. I was more impressed that they decided to get that on and popping. Right. And Frank Martin came out on top. You understand? So at this point, if Michelle Rivera's not running it back with Frank Martin, I think either Michelle Rivera or Frank Martin, that'll be a good fight for Shakur. Why not?
It's too many people. I don't think we'll ever see all of them fight each other, which sucks.
Don't you miss the fucking 80s and 90s?
Yep.
Everybody was fighting. 88 Sports talking that super chat. He said Tio is ducking already. He told Regis he can't fight in the States because of Pro Bellum and MTK. What drug is he on? Regis' last fight was in the States. Brother, tomorrow morning, I am going to obliterate this dude. What you're saying is absolutely correct. I pulled up the article. I said, this guy's retarded. This dude's retarded. No, Teofimo Lopez is legitimately out of his fucking mind. Elder, my brother with the crystal ball. He says, don't forget, Pitbull Cruz. He's a live dog. How could I forget him? You know what I'm saying? Didn't he say, he told Ryan Garcia, send the contract? I mean, Shakur. He said, send the contract. They have some fights.
He's going to have a hard time. Pitbull's going to have a hard time getting fights because he's so dangerous. High risk, no reward. You know?
Yeah.
Financially, no reward, I mean.
I like his story, man. He was on his way out the door. He couldn't even fight. He couldn't even feed himself. Couldn't even feed his family. And Tank gave him an opportunity. And, it's been all good for him, man.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, man. So, Stormy. Okay, I already asked you. I asked you about Tank's performance, right? Did I ask you that?
No.
All right, go ahead, brother.
Listen, man. Tank is an interesting personality in the sport of boxing. Ironically, he has a lot more in common, from my perspective, with Mike Tyson than people might believe. Yeah. And that's not something negative that I'm trying to say. I'm actually trying to say it in the positive, because when he performs in the ring, he gets the turnout of the people. They like this guy.
Yeah.
And he performs like nobody else. The only person that I could think of that may perform like him is Deontay Wilder, because he gives you the sizzle that you come to a boxing match for.
Yeah.
And for some reason, there's always just enough outside of the ring antics or drama or something when he's not fighting that make you say, well, what's going on with this kid now, or whatever. So it's like, that's that Mike Tyson element thing, that when Mike was young and good, and that kind of happened to him. But this fight was, again, like something that you can look at boxing history, even recent boxing history, and take a page of understanding like what you're looking at. Tank was able to get to Garcia eventually because he has enough boxing experience to know how to handle himself in the ring. The fact that Floyd wasn't around, I love that, because now you could see where he, it was on him and he did it. But if you look at how his personality was before the fight, in the week of promotion leading up to the fight, the weigh-in and everything, Tank was very relaxed. He was very cordial and cooperative with the press. He smiled a lot. Not that I'm putting a lot of emphasis on that smiling stuff, because I'm not a smiling dude myself, and I don't like when they tell us that we should be smiling and this and that and the third. But what I felt and took from it was that he's engaging. He has a certain charisma, and I like this kid when he's performing in the ring. He's got to be one of the most exciting fighters of today, and he is probably the face of boxing as far as box office, pay-per-view, and things of that nature. You can't deny that.
Right.
However, I gotta burn Garcia. I gotta burn him because you said, meaning Garcia, he said that growing up, he had it so tough and everything, and how important this was to, pull his family's circumstances up out of the doldrums, all of that stuff, the cliche things. But as I watched this fight, and he came out and he was boxing well, kind of controlling distance a little bit. He was doing some positive things in there. But I now question the ring IQ of Garcia, because he had a chance to defeat Tank by outboxing him, outsmarting him. And I had talked about this, that he said leading up to the fight, he was going to outsmart Tank Davis.
He said that.
Where was that? It never showed up. In fact, it left along with Nicholson and Ellis. All of that left the ring same night. There must have been a party in the back or something. But anyway, this whole thing smacks of a person not being able to live up to what's advertised. Tank Davis is a puncher. He can box. He has fast hands. He is usually a little shorter than his opponents. So he has to get close to you. Right? He's got to get close to you. So knowing this going in, somebody please explain to me why Garcia's guard was so low.
That was stupid, man.
Inviting the inevitable. The inevitable. Because as you get tired, if you have a low guard, the guard gonna get lower. If you get tired as you get tired, your reaction is going to be a little slower than it was when you first started out. When you get tired, the shots that miss by mere inches or whatever are going to land solidly. What happened? Now, he got hit, and it's a hurt business.
Yeah.
But his response and reaction to getting hit by Tank Davis told me two things. One, Tank can really crack. He really can.
Yeah.
Two, it's obvious that this dude ain't never really been hit before.
He ain't never been hit. Thank you.
Because he had his hands too damn low for a guy who was a freaking threat to knock you out at any point in the fight. So where's the ring IQ at? Where were the coaches reminding him, get your fucking hands up? This guy's a puncher. He'll knock your head off. Where was that? Where was it?
Taller guy, no stick.
Now,
Go on.
he said he couldn't see. All right. Well, Ali, when he was Cassius Clay, challenged Charles Sonny Liston for the heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a point in that fight when Sonny had a substance on his body, on his gloves, that he rubbed on Ali, and it made Ali's eyes burn.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to quit when he got back to the corner after that round. When that substance got in his eyes, he was like, take these gloves off. He told Angie, take these gloves off. You know, they cheating in here. I can't see. And Angie was like, settle down. What's going on? What's going on? He was like, my eyes, I can't see. He was squinting. So Angelo Dundee was washing him off and everything. So Angie took his, whatever that substance was, he put it at the corner of his own eye and he said, whatever it was, it burned like heck. So he rinsed Ali down and he said, look, we're not quitting here. He's like, go out there and move, run, just tie him up. He's like, just survive.
Damn.
Basically what Angie was telling him was, give it some time and your sight will come back. And by the end of the next round, his vision had cleared up, and he went on to stop Sonny Liston a couple of rounds later, who actually quit because after bullying and the dirty tactics and everything, and Ali stood up to it all, Sonny didn't have his bag of tricks was empty.
Empty.
So he sat on his stool and didn't come out for the 8th round. Muhammad Ali became the heavyweight champion of the world for the first time at the age of 22. 22. There were rumors that Sonny Liston was actually 40 years old when he fought Ali. So with all the experience that Sonny Liston had and the type of lifestyle he lived outside the ring, for Cassius Marcellus Clay to stand up to all of that and have all that pressure on him, you have to understand it takes a special person to persevere, to go through. Now, history repeating itself. We just saw last October, Clarissa Shields took on Savannah Marshall in a fight that most recently Clarissa announced that her opponent on fight night outweighed her by 35 pounds, which explains why she's been knocking all them other women goofy. But in their fight, during the fight, Clarissa let on to us in the aftermath. She said that Savannah at one point hit her so hard she couldn't see.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't say which eye it was or whatever. She said, I couldn't see for a couple of rounds. But she said, all I knew was I had to keep on fighting. And I had to hit her more times than she hit me. That's a champion. That's a champion fighting there. That is not just a fighter. That is a champion. Guess what, Mr. Garcia? Guess what you are not? You see? And guess whose fault it is, Mr. Garcia? Oh, is it Tank Davis's fault? No. It's your fault for not keeping your damn hands up and be alert and protect yourself at all times. Huh? Because when Tank started getting to you, he was hitting you clean. There were a couple of shots that he hit Garcia flush on the chin. They showed the highlight replays, and he took those shots. When he got hit upside the head, cobwebs got knocked loose, huh? And you're supposed to protect the dome, bruh. You're supposed to protect the dome. So I can't get with that. I just laid out a couple of scenarios for you, huh? That where you saw champions rise to the occasion and weather the storm, no pun intended, to go on to be great. 2, a man and a woman. Ironically, one is called the greatest and the other is called the GOAT. How about that? Now, is it anything that anyone out there listening can pick up and learn from this? Because if you happen to like Hector Luis Garcia, he's still got a lot of learning to do. Tank Davis entered this fight with a whirlwind of press, negative press, everything happening in his personal life outside the ring. But he still remained focused on the task at hand. Didn't even talk about that. Talked about the fight, promoted the fight, and went out there and performed like a professional and got the job done.
That's right.
That's a champion. That's a champion, not just a fighter, because we fight every day for our breath, our lives, our livelihoods, our homes, our relationships, huh? But when you look at it and you put it all together, as we're doing here, you have to understand that there is something more always, and you got to be prepared. You got to have things that you can break out of the toolbox.
That's right.
And I'm sorry, it didn't happen to be there for Mr. Garcia. I had hopes for him performing much better because I just wanted to see a good fight.
Yeah.
And it was entertaining while it lasted. But the abrupt ending to it all speaks more about what wasn't there than who was there. Huh? And that Tank Davis is a dangerous man. A dangerous man in there. So any fighter, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, maybe one day Vasily Lomachenko or Shakur Stevenson, if you men are considering fighting this guy, you have to understand that you got to be careful for 12 rounds until the final bell rings, or he can get your ass up out of there. Just like Deontay Wilder.
Yep.
And he's 2 feet shorter than Deontay Wilder. You understand? And it's like, it's an amazing thing to watch. I only hope and pray that his personal life comes together, that it doesn't become a distraction from what he's doing professionally, because he is a crowd-pleasing fighter. Did you see that stadium? Did you see those people, man?
Sold out.
They came out for this young man. And did you see he put his ego to the side and allow these other named fighters to be on the card with him? Because there are so many fighters who would not do that. And he brought these brothers in, including the Peterson brothers and Jerron. He brought Rashidi. He brought Demetrius Andrade. There are guys out here to this day that could have a card that be like, I don't want this guy on my card. I don't want that guy on my card. Do you understand? Tank said, bring them all on here. We're going to put on a show. And they did. So salute to him for that. Because remember, Floyd wasn't a part of this, right? But Tank is breaking new ground. And I salute the hell out of him for it. I support that. Because that's doing it the right way. Lead by example. And that's all you could ask of these guys. It is an amazing thing. He had an amazing event. And I can't wait to see him fight again. Those are my thoughts.
Mic drop. Cooking with Frank, our brother. He said Tank is too good not to catch deaf and clean at some point. People underestimate Tank's ring IQ. He sets him up every time. Big problem for Dev. Salute. And salute to our brother Boss Red. He said all black card in Chocolate City with all black refs. Yup. Although the refs kind of fucked up, but yeah. But what the brother Cooking said, that's why we need to see that fight. That's why we need to see that fight, because right now, 135, two of the best are Devin Haney and Tank Davis. We can fuck around and get a trilogy out of those brothers, but the time for that fight is now. Now, in saying that, I'm glad we put this super chat back up there. This is where I'm going with this. All black card in Chocolate City with all black refs. I just got some undercover video from what happened in the main event. You just got some exclusive breaking news. Right there in the first row. Breaking news, y'all. Front row, we saw it. I got close audio and video as to what happened.
You can talk, your brain now, motherfucker. Rolls out, he's a nigger. He's a nigger.
Oh my God.
A nigger, look, there's a nigger.
There goes Meek Mill. I don't give a fuck what you was doing, stupid. I don't care what your beef is. I'm not on Twitter. Did you really just challenge Gary Russell to a fight, Mr. Gary Russell? He'll beat the shit out you, if that's true. But let me explain something to you. All black card, all black affair, black refs, although one was fucked up and when the other one was slapping them on the ass. Look, for you, how did I know the night wouldn't be complete without some nigga fucking it up or trying to fuck it up? I don't care what the fucking problem was. You could have said to him, yo, man, I'll see you outside. Not even that, like, yo, man, fuck you and walk off. Why are you and 1,000 of your goons have to be escorted out on a wonderful night? Do you understand that y'all stopped the main event in the middle of the main? Y'all stopped. They stopped action. The ref had to say, stop, guys. And everyone turned around and y'all hijacked the pay-per-view for about a good 30 seconds to a minute with your fucking foolishness. The fucking announcers was like, yo, that looks like Meek Mill. I don't know who the fuck he was, but I smelled bananas through the motherfucking. Y'all know what's coming.
Hey, get that comment from Stephen L. the Mac up on the screen. Now, I just want to say this. Stephen L., you come to the channel and represent. You be in the chat. All due respect, I will have to respectfully disagree with that comment. You have to understand, and I talked about this on my post-fight show when I opened it last night. There are people now in our society that have erased the line of discipline. That's why you got folks that can walk around showing their underwear. That's why you can have people having shootouts at gas stations in broad daylight being caught on camera. You got people walking down the street attacking the elderly, broad daylight, for no reason but to have some laughs and to film it and put it up on social media. You have ratchet women doing things that are unsavory, and the men who are doing it and support it. With everything going on like it is, how could it be stated that he respectfully left when he had no choice because he was being escorted the fuck out? And the only reason that he was being escorted out of a venue that I would suggest that he had paid to be at was that he misbehaved. So when are people going to be accountable? And I said this earlier in the show, when you say it's on me, my fault, I fucked up, and stop having people like you, Stephen L., to say stuff like he didn't disrespect nobody. He disrespected me because I paid to watch the damn fight. I didn't pay to see him and his goons and everybody that he was in it with and stopping the event that I paid to see. I don't even go to the event because of shit like that. And if one of them decide, just like the people at the gas station, to start pulling out guns and start shooting, it could be your stupid ass sitting right a few feet away getting shot. But you didn't come there to get shot. You came there to watch Tank Davis and Hector Luis Garcia.
Did Captain Jack really jump up and get in the middle of that shit and try to like diffuse it? That was him in the green shirt, right? And I don't want anyone to take this in the wrong nature, but this is aggravating to me because they stopped. You gotta understand. Now watch this, y'all. Watch this, and I'm just painting this picture. When they stopped the action, that's giving Garcia time to recover. What if they said, okay, fight, and then he goes in there and lands one on Tank and fucks it up? You understand? I don't know what was going on in there. PLG Ski, the family says Meek left on his own. Meek left on his own in his video. It was the Russells getting aggressive because Meek and them was barking, hyping Tank. Okay, so Gary might have been rooting against Tank. Cool, but
can't you root against the opposing guy? If we got sports events, my team against your team. Oh, now I can't openly support my team,
bro. I'm
bringing gang shit to the damn sports event because my team, the Bulls, wear red, and your team wears blue. Oh, we beefing like the Crips and the Bloods and everything now. Whatever happened to it being a sporting event? And I can make fun of you because we done beat your team 20 times in a row. You're going to get mad and pull out a gun and shoot me because I say go Bulls. It don't make sense to me. Because what that really tells me is that you're looking at it from the standpoint of it being more. And you're looking for an excuse to do more. Huh? Because you can't get out there and be a professional your damn self and you got nothing else going for you. So let me screw this entire venue up because I want the world to look at me. We'll be looking at you from behind bars or standing over a casket at the cemetery. Because that's where it is for you, bro. And anyone like you that's out there doing these things and supporting the foolishness. Now, it was already pointed out that it's an all-black venue. Why I gotta be like that for an all-black venue? We already had bad things going on with all the black refs, didn't we? We had it.
Yeah.
So it still couldn't be the best that it should be because niggas gonna be niggas.
If
that's your video there.
Y'all know what's coming.
Yeah, come on!
Salute to my brother that said common sense. He said, this is why nobody respects us as a people. 100%. Now, look. Now, no doubt, Stephen L., don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? We just having a conversation here, but, you know, we're just saying that when you go to a sporting event, there's gonna be people that are gonna be on some bullshit. I was at Wilder Fury 3. I sat right next to a British dude. He was openly rooting for Fury. But guess what? Prior to the main event, we were just talking boxing. I told y'all the story. He was respectful. And we was talking about boxing, and he didn't know who Frank Sanchez was. I pulled out my phone. I said, this is the guy that he's next up. And we had a brilliant conversation. It was cool. But there was not one time that I feel that he was going to physically do me bodily harm. Now, I can go to an all-black event and everything's okay till it's not okay. Because at some point, there's going to be a fucking monkey that's going to do something that I ain't got nothing to do with. Now, I know if I'm sitting there on the floor and I pay $2,000 for the floor seats or however they cost, and I'm sitting there, let's say I'm with my wife. Let's say I'm with my child. My wife and my child. And we're looking at the ring. And next thing you know, the Russells jump up and Meek Mill jumps up. And I'm like, oh, shit. Now I'm in the middle of shit. Now I'm just trying to get out of there. But I paid $2,000 for a floor seat. And I'm trying to watch the main event. And these motherfucking niggas are so distracting that they have to stop what I paid $2,500 for to see a fight. They stop the action to entertain this shit. Now, I'm at a sporting event. Gary Russell don't have to like Tank. He's entitled to root against him. Meek, was he sitting there? Or did he walk up over there? I don't know. But I know I heard his name on my television. All right? And they say, oh, I think that's Meek Mill. And they all walking out of there with matching jackets. Now listen, man. Gary Russell's a millionaire. And I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Meek Mills is a millionaire. If Gary was rooting against Tank, at most, he should have smiled at Gary and said, yeah, you little motherfucker, you just mad because you're not in the mix. Haha, and clowned him. It should have never have gotten to a point where it could have gotten physical, because that's what I saw. Now, whether Meek was escorted out or they walked off, I don't know who started. What I'm saying is, it ain't got to be like that. Up Echelon says, it was Gary and them trying to press Meek. Wallow ran over there. Look, I don't know what happened. What I'm saying is, I don't like the bullshit. Because you know why? I'm going to show you why, y'all. You know why? Let me show you. Here's why. Where's that? There you go. Okay? Make sense?
All you gotta do is substitute the word delinquents for Negro.
Yep. See? This is what I was talking about, y'all. Black vision in the building. I don't know who started. I'm not, and this is what I'm saying. I don't want y'all to think I'm taking sides. It was an all-black event. I paid money to see this. There were people sitting on the floor that paid money for this. Everyone sold out to support Tank. What a difference 48 hours makes. Look at this picture. Wasn't I just talking about this?
Yep.
And we got to the main event with no incident, and then that bullshit happened. I don't know who started. But look, y'all, you see? Who speaks Spanish? Tell me what he says if you remember. I look like their lawyer servicing a bunch of delinquent. These are all my clients. You understand? And with one incident, there's going to be some motherfucker saying, look, yeah, those niggas, they can't do anything. They can't do anything in peace. Maricon. See? You see? Why the fuck does Steven Jackson have to jump up and squash whatever's going on between the Russells and Meek Mills? I don't know how it started. I was watching a fight. Why the fuck is the fight halted for some bullshit Nigga, what's worse, Fan Man or Meek Mills versus Gary Russell? What the fuck? What the fuck? It's always us. It's all motherfucker.
And why is it that someone can take what happened and start talking about who started what or whatever and not acknowledge the fact that all of it is bad to begin with?
Monkey!
That's not supposed to be there. It's ridiculous.
And that's why I said what I said. I'm not taking sides. I'm saying it shouldn't have happened.
Right.
It shouldn't have happened.
Hello, monkeys.
You gotta stop. The man just said, he's basically saying these motherfuckers are a bunch of delinquents, and I'm abogado. That means lawyer. And we almost got through a whole event without some nigga nonsense. And what happened? Nigga nonsense.
Give power to my nigger sword!
Almost.
Fucking ridiculous, man. We gotta. Upper Echelon says Gary's tweeting and acting crazy the whole night. Bro, I'm not on Twitter. I don't know. If y'all know, y'all know. I'm holding everybody accountable. Because it shouldn't be like that. Now, I don't know. But if he wasn't there acting ignorant, then it is what it is. If Meek was acting, I don't know who started it. I don't know. But I'm saying I paid to support Tank in a black event, and I was disrupted by nigga nonsense. That's the point. That's the point. I'm holding everybody accountable. Salute to my brother, Eric Montgomery, in the building. He said, people need to control their damn egos. Much love, gentlemen. Salute to you, my brother. Yeah, man. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
Listen, a lot can be said, and I'll say this, it'll probably still be too much to say. When you put Gary in there, and I'm talking about Mr. Gary Russell, we do know that he's had problems in the sport of boxing with not being able to secure certain fights and to fight more frequently. And I've never heard him acknowledge that any of that has anything to do with certain decisions that he's made or behavior he's displayed. Remember, accountability is premium. It is, you cannot make it through this life without the acknowledgement of your positions, your actions, even words and statements. This is what I talk about all the time. So if he was in the midst of what went down that night, again, what Drew Titan and myself have said, there's no place for that with why we are here. There's no place for that. That's like being in a movie theater, watching a movie, and somebody just come in there and yell, fire! Just to disrupt everything. And you know what people are going to do? They're going to get up and they're going to run for the exits and everything, right? So, is that proper? Hell no, it's not.
Listen, man, we're all black. Well, majority of us are black in here. Even if you're brown, we know as a people, there's always an element of danger outside of it being it can even be I was going to say a black tie affair. Don't matter. When you go and it's a majority of our people, we know there's an element of danger because we always anticipate some fool or some fools that have a problem with each other will meet at wherever we're at to have fun, and they will air out their personal beef and don't give a fuck about no man, woman, and child around us. It happens in Chicago a lot. It happens in New York a lot. Understand. It happens, and y'all know that's true. Now, here's what I'll say. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Some people are saying it was Gary. I don't know. But even if it was, because I wasn't there, that needs to chill also, because we all know what was going on. Batman's no longer here. That was his brother. That was our brother. But that was his blood brother. And he lost his life over some street bullshit. The story we got. Prior to that, they lost a cousin. You remember that? Prior to that, remember when Batman would come on and put R.I.P. Guala? That was a close, I think, a friend of his or something. So there was some shit going, and then they lost their father to the sickness. But there was some shit going on. So I don't know what's going on. But what I do need, if they started, I don't know, I need them to relax. I met them. I met all of them when they were up here in New York. Cool brothers. But if people are saying that look, I don't know who started, but what I do know is that I don't need no goddamn millionaires fighting over who's rooting for whoever's fighting in the fucking ring. If he was in there, I don't give a fuck if Gary was in the front row talking about fuck you, Tank, get him, Garcia, fuck you. It wasn't up to Meek to come up there and be like, yo, man, what the fuck? He shouldn't have said nothing to him. You know why? Tank knocked his ass out. What do I always say? Sometimes you don't have to say anything. I asked y'all when we first got on this topic, who really thought, did anyone really think that Garcia was going to win the fight? The answer is no. So sometimes you don't have to lift a finger. I don't know why Meek even approached Gary. I don't care how disrespectfully. I've gone to pro games, and the one seat I purchased, the motherfucker rooting for the away team is sitting right near me. And he's disrespectful. At the free throw line, fuck you, you motherfucker, calling the players out of their name. But nobody hits him with an avalanche and starts throwing shit at him and threatening to kick it. You might get mad, but guess what? Where I'm sitting, he's sitting because he paid for it. So he reserves the right to root for whoever the fuck he wants to root for. So what I'm saying is, it's ridiculous. It didn't need to happen. It was so distracting that they halted the motherfucking fight that I paid for. And had the announcers talking about, oh, that looks like Meek Mills. I'm like, doing what? Beefing with Gary? And they had Captain Jack, because Captain Jack's like 6'9". Had him diffusing the situation. I said, bro, we almost made it. We almost got through a goddamn event, an all-black event, without some nigga nonsense. And now I'm hearing that they on Twitter. Look. That's why I didn't make no video about it last night. You understand? Because to me, it's not that important, and I didn't want to amplify it. I just thought that I want to touch on it here to let y'all know that I acknowledge it and hear my thoughts on it. That shit like that is why we can't move forward. That's why. So I'm not taking sides because I don't know what happened. What I'm saying is, those two black millionaires, they need to be jaw-jacking or doing whatever the fuck it is that they did, or whatever the fuck happened, I don't care. Squash it and move on. Because you know how we can get, it can get on some street shit real quick. You see on YouTube, yo, I pick Bud, I pick Arrow. Well, fuck you, use a pussy. No, use a pussy. Pull up. Where are you? I'm in Australia. Nigga, I'm in Texas. What the fuck you mean pull up?
Then let him taste the fury of my Negasword!
But this is us. It's fucking ridiculous, man. I don't want to hear no more bullshit about it. I don't want to hear about no fucking tweets. I don't want to hear about no Meek Mill saying I'll fight him in the ring. Shut all that dumb shit up. Move on. It happened. It was a black eye, and let's just move on. Because I don't need it. I don't need brothers fighting. That's my stance on it. Fuck. Anyway, that's all I got, man. You got anything else, Stormy?
No, it's just the fact that we can talk about this, and it's really like just blowing off steam because it's not gonna get better, man. It's not gonna get better. For those who may have hope or whatever, my hope left the ring just like Nicholson's heart and Ellis's ability to sustain to the end of the fight. Everybody, Garcia's will to continue to compete through difficulty. Everybody abandoned ship. So has my hope on these things of being able to overcome. It'll maybe happen after I'm dead and gone, but guess what? It ain't gonna matter to me because I'll be dead and gone. It would matter to me if it happened while I was alive to see it. But the worst part of it all is one of them may be trying to kill me. You understand? That's how bad it is, because you don't like being told the truth and told that you're acting a damn fool, and to straighten your shit up and get your act right and live on the right side of life. No, some people are born into this existence wanting to get to the grave as fast as they can, or to see what life is like behind bars. It's ridiculous. I've never known a class, a nation of people who live that way and revel in the fact that it's dysfunctional as fuck. I've never understood that, bro.
It was bizarre.
My mind cannot wrap around the concept. I've had people tell me, family tell me, don't let that get to you. But it destroys the essence of who I am as a person, because I am not that. But that's what's typified of me. That's what's represented when I walk down the street and somebody look at me. That's what they see in me, even though that ain't me. It's you. And you don't want to say, I fucked up, I did wrong, my bad. You don't want to say that, but you're going to keep on living like that. What the hell is wrong with you? It doesn't make any sense.
It's called having accountability, man. I have accountability and I call it out. Like I just told, hold on, I got a Cash App, my bad. Okay, I didn't know who that is. My bad. Salute to my brother Paul Carrick and that Cash App. He said, for another great show, man. Salute to you, brother. He's always supporting. Accountability, like we just said, that referee, I think he, looking back, he may have robbed Villa of a TKO stoppage. I just played it for you guys. He may have done that. May have robbed him of a stoppage. But that's accountability. It was an all-black event, right? I still don't think he won the fight, but he may have robbed Villa of a stoppage. Okay, it's called accountability.
Comment, Drew.
This one,
yeah. Saying ain't nobody saying anything about the black guy killed by police in Texas, but ready to ride on each other because we envious. It's the curses of Old Testament given to Moses. Look, man. Let me say this. First of all, the guy that was killed in Texas by police, that's not what the topic and subject was here. We were speaking specifically about a topic and subject here. And it is deflection by nature to bring something up like that when you don't even want to buy into what is being presently discussed. And that's another example of you know, us not getting beyond this point. We keep stubbing our toe. We keep arriving at the same wall with no tool to break the wall down. But we have plenty of weapons to use on one another. And we use them with venomous energy and determination that we don't have toward those who bring strife against us as a nation of people. There's something absurdly wrong with that as well. And it's one thing to actually look at God's word and want to use it as an example of things. But it's another thing when it's not really at the core of understanding and it be convenient to stress and make a point. God don't have nothing to do with that because man is disobedient and has been disobedient from the beginning. That's why he's destined to perish. That's his curse. the real curse. You understand? So when you want to use certain aspects of truth as a basis to make a point, please understand that you need to be totally rounded and fulfilled in that you can express that, so it can go out, flowing out from you to others, and vice versa, to be reciprocated. Because deflecting is not the way to go. How about holding up the mirror, and seeing the reflection, not the deflection?
Nobody, if that escalated, and this is my concern, brothers and sisters, if that escalated to something ignorant, nobody would have been able to blame no white man for doing that. You understand? It's always us. And what I'm saying is, we hold those brothers to a higher standard. Meek Mill hasn't been in trouble with the law, like for a while. He hasn't made any music to my knowledge for a while. So he's been on, he's been on his good boy stuff. You know what I'm saying? He's been good man stuff. I don't want to call him a boy. Gary Russell, the Russell family, they've had a lot of hardships. He's on the road to coming back into the ring. Maybe he was marketing himself. Maybe he was talking shit to Tank and marketing himself, which he's entitled to do. But neither one of those brothers, even if he was calling Tank out his name, I don't know why Meek went over there to even address him outside of saying, yo, what up? I mean, it's not that serious to me. Let him talk, because at the end of the day, Tank stopped Garcia, made him legally blind. I am legally blind. The dude that called him a delinquent called everybody on the card. Now, mind you, it's an all-black card. And he said, I look like their abogado, representing a bunch of delinquents. And he got his sight knocked out. Imagine that. Now, instead of them focusing on what he said, these niggas are about to clash with each other. I got a problem with that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not taking sides because I don't know who started. What I'm saying is, family, I don't care. These brothers got to do better than that. Like, I've made a commitment to get better by not addressing trolls this year. I'm human. But I've made it a business not to address the trolls this year because I noticed something. I've been noticed this. I'm like, wait a minute. Every motherfucker that talks about us, what have we done? We've grown. We have the last laugh. There's several people in the chat right now that I'm going to be helping behind the scene to help grow their channel. Upper Echelon is one of them. You understand? I'm helping everybody grow. That's how I give back. What are the trolls doing? Talking about me, helping people grow. Because why? They're not growing. They're incapable.
Hey, Drew, speaking of the last laugh, word has it that Garcia, after pursuing an American citizenship, may consider changing his name to Matt Murdock.
Whoa! What the that's kind of pretty before it gets started, ain't it? Oh, Froggy when courting, he did ride Cambo. Froggy when courting, he did ride Cambo.
What?
Now you can explain who the hell Matt Murdock is to these people.
If you're not a nerd, you don't get it. Just Google Matt Murdock and it'll all make sense. Salute James Dune. James Dune is asking, is there any links that I can drop? For anyone in the chat, I'll subscribe and I can super chat once I start work next week. It's all good, brother. If you do content, please drop your link in the chat. Yep, Del Rib, yes. Drop your link in the chat. Drop your link in the chat. Because this is what we do, man. Yeah, yes, yes. Daredevil speaks Spanish. Daredevil ain't from Hell's Kitchen anymore. He's from Washington Heights. If you live in New York, that's a Dominican hood. He's like, when did Daredevil start hanging out in Washington Heights?
Oh man,
You're down legally blind. Hold on. Oh my God.
Your right eye and why you could not continue.
¿Qué fue lo que pasó con el ojo derecho?
El problema fue. I cannot see. I'm legally blind, but I'm legally blind. So how I'm gonna drive a car? Huh?
You can see that, right?
I'm legally blind.
Can you tell us what happened with your right eye and why you could not continue?
Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh shit. I can't, man. The internet is undefeated. That was Boxing Ego's page, by the way. You already know what time it is. Oh, if y'all not subscribed to Beyond the Ring with Nonino and Rachel, I know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all go subscribe right now. Do it now. Oh my God. Yes, sir. Up Echelon, you dropped your link, right? JC, 88 Sports Talk, Healer, Steve L, there you go. I'm trying to remember everybody. Black Vision, Mansa Musa. All y'all drop y'all link. We trying to grow here. This is what Daredevil when we speaking in Spanish. Yo, Stormy, let them know how they can find you, brother.
and everybody can find me right on YouTube. Stormy B Man is the channel. That's where it's going down.
Oh my God, man. Man, everyone go subscribe to everybody, man. And word is bond, man. You know, but it is what it is. You know, salute to my stalkers though. I like y'all. How am I on Twitter and I don't even have a goddamn Twitter account? It's awesome.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
You guys make it fun. Man, salute to y'all. I'll be back in the morning. It's T.O.'s turn. And oh, let me drop my link. Because we cooking tomorrow, man. Painful Excellence Podcast. You already know what we do over there. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe over there. Because we cooking tomorrow, too. We cooking tomorrow. I got a nice little story for y'all. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me take care of my brother, James. That's the Painful Excellence Podcast. And this month, we drop my other link since I'm on it. This month, I will have content for Bear Cave Entertainment. That is the nerd channel, y'all. That is the nerd channel. And speaking of nerds, that's the nerd channel. Comic books, pro wrestling, all that good stuff. And speaking of nerds, tomorrow, Noids on Culture. Me and Stormy gonna be cooking. What we talking about tomorrow, Stormy? Salute to Jamel with the new sub.
We're talking the late great Sonny Chiba tomorrow. The Street Fighter.
Street Fighter. That's my guy. We cooking. No doubt, man. So salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chats, man. We love you guys, man. I'm glad we can come here and talk boxing. I know it can get a little grimy sometimes because the sport don't love us. We love the sport, but the sport don't love us. But imagine how the fucking athletes feel. We have more than enough of them come through here. Hell, Nonito and Rachel's in the chat. Ask him. You know what I'm saying? So, We out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Ross on deck.
Move! Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.